Hi guys, welcome to our channel and welcome back for those that are new. For today's lesson, we are going to talk about how to best learn French and how to elevate our level in French. So let's begin. As you probably know, there are four different parts of any language that you need to learn. So you need to develop your listening ability. You need to develop your ability to understand other people. You need to develop the ability to know grammar, vocabulary, and also how to speak and write. And I've actually made this diagram for you because most of us have a tendency to start with immersing yourself into the language by just listening to different audios, different videos, different anything like that are in French, for example, in this case, but this applies to any language. Then we go into grammar, that is a whole another process. Then I go into vocabulary and we try our best to memorize some vocabulary, but it's all over the place. And then when we get to speaking and writing, which is the last step, we kind of fail and we don't understand why. And that is because you need to improve on all four aspects at once. So you need a recipe, and I'm going to give you my 30 minutes recipe a day where you would improve all your abilities, listening, grammar, vocabulary, speaking, and writing in 5 days a week with 30 minutes a day. So let's break it down. Now, in one of the days, you need to actually practice listening, but not just immersing yourself in different forms of content. Don't just simply listen. Try to identify new words, write them down, and look them up. So you can actually listen to podcasts. You can listen to audiobooks. You can read books if you're a book lover. You might want to listen to music. That is also an alternative. But it's important to write down every new word that you encounter, look them up, look their meaning, and once you look them up, decide in which context you need to use them. And guess what? On my YouTube channel, I just started a short stories playlist. Check it out, the first video, and ask if you found some new words in the comments. I can provide for you the context where you would use them and also their meaning. Coming back to what I was saying, what is important for you to understand is that when you're listening, do not just listen for the sake of listening, because of course you're going to improve a little bit your pronunciation or maybe the way you pronounce certain words, but obviously for pronunciation there are certain rules and so on. So you need to actually get a lesson on exactly that topic, that aspect. What is important for you is to extract new vocabulary that to learn, and also find the context where it's best used. So, for example, you would use le livre in different scenarios: when you're at the library, when you're at the school, when you're lending a book to a friend, or having it back from someone, and so on. So this is an example of how you would go about it. Next is grammar. So grammar is probably the biggest problem in learning any language. It's important to take one thing at a time, to know the verb tenses, the articles, everything, but again within context. For example, you have to know that the conditional tense in French might be used to express polite requests, while the present tense is only used about habits or scheduled actions in the future. And you can get all of that with our Learn French in 15 Minutes playlist. So check it out on our YouTube channel and subscribe to get notified for the latest content. I also recommend watching until the end through the examples as well, because it gives you an opportunity to practice with the notions we provide for you. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always comment them, and we can come back to them in our weekly Q&A. So you can find the link in the description for the one that I'm doing April 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern European time zone. So don't forget to submit your questions. Now, coming back, grammar is not that hard. I know. You're going to tell me, oh, you're crazy. I'm not even listening to you. No, listen to me until the end, because grammar can be easy. You just need to focus first on understanding how to form a sentence. And once you know how to form a sentence, then you need to just diversify your vocabulary. All right? So once you know when to use different tenses, how to form a sentence correctly, simply tying them together is just a matter of vocabulary, of conjunctions, of when to use certain prepositions or pronouns, and so on. So don't forget to add another day where you would actually go into one grammar lesson. And for that, actually, you can join my community for learning, and I'm going to provide a link in the description for that as well. So you can get actually the lessons, weekly lessons, for your grammar or vocabulary as well. Okay, so now you've got a list of vocabulary, you've got grammar, but how do you actually get to making sentences? Well, you can get inspirations from vocabulary's trusted sources, such as textbooks. Textbooks are good, especially for this, especially for gaining new vocabulary. However, I would also recommend trying to read as much as possible, such as newspapers. Going TV Monde or RFI France, which are actually two of the most trusted websites, especially for preparation on towards a certain exam, such as DEL for TCF. And also, again, I'm going to recommend our short stories because they are made with certain vocabulary and certain idiomatic expressions, so you have what to learn from them. And also, you can familiarize yourself with how a certain sentence might sound, or how simple sentences might sound, how more complex sentences might sound, what are the rules behind them, and so on. And you can always ask questions based off of that in the comments. So I'm really eager to see your questions and to see how you progress on your French learning journey. And lastly, you get to writing and speaking. You get to writing and speaking in the fourth day, right? Well, by writing and speaking, I mean to practice around a certain topic. Because obviously, once you gain that vocabulary, once you know how to pronounce different words, once you have the grammar in place, then you can use actually the information that you've got, when to use certain vocabulary, when to use a certain piece of grammar, and you can practice it within making simple sentences at first. So I recommend our courses, our weekly courses. They last for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and they are only €5 per course. So you imagine that you're investing €5 for 1 hour and 30 minutes of content, broken down into 30 minutes of grammar, 30 minutes of vocabulary, and 30 minutes of speaking practice. So you're basically learning to speak French as you go throughout the week and practice what you learn. So don't miss on this offer. I'm going to link down the registration form for this specific course, and also I'm going to link down a link to my WhatsApp store, so you can actually purchase different articles from there if you're interested. Now, I'm going to end this video on the note of thanking you all for being so supportive of our community over here, and I hope that you're going to be eager to learn French with me as much as possible, and yeah, subscribe to get more content, more lessons, and more practice. For now, bye bye.